Oh, honey, come sit by me a minute. These old hands have held more years than I sometimes remember, but the stories, oh, they never quite leave. You know, back when I was a little girl, things were different. Not better in every way, no, but sturdier, like an old oak table that creaks but never breaks. We didn't grow up thinking the world would bend for us. No, we were taught early, real early, that we had to bend a little for it. I remember sitting at that dinner table, feet barely touching the floor, listening while the grown folks talked. We didn't interrupt, not unless we were spoken to. You learned patience that way, learned how to listen before you spoke. And chores? Oh, child, chores weren't something you got paid for. They were just part of breathing, part of belonging. You swept the floor because it was your floor too. And if you got bored, well, you stayed bored till you figured something out. We made games out of nothing. Sticks, dirt, imagination. Nobody came running to fix that feeling for you. You learned it passed. Most things did. Respect was, it was like air. You didn't question it, you just lived it. Every взрослый, every adult was sir or ma'am. Didn't matter if you liked them or not. And if mama cooked something you didn't care for, well, you ate it or you waited till morning. Simple as that. Now, don't get me wrong, sweetheart. It wasn't all easy. Some feelings got swallowed when they should have been heard. Some kids, they struggled quiet-like. But we learned something strong, too. Something that sticks in your bones. We learned that life, well, it doesn't always play fair. And instead of falling apart, we learned to keep going anyway. Keep going anyway, even when your heart felt a little heavy and your shoes felt too tight for the road ahead. I remember this one winter, must have been 56 or 57, cold enough to make your breath look like little clouds. My neighbor, sweet boy named Tommy, got a brand new bicycle for Christmas. Shiny red, streamers on the handles, the kind that turn heads all the way down the block. And me, I had my brother's old one, paint chipped, seat patched up with tape. Now, I won't lie to you, I felt that pinch in my chest, that little voice saying, "That's not fair." I went to my mama about it, eyes all wide, hoping she'd fix the feeling somehow. And she just looked at me calm as ever and said, "Baby, life isn't fair, but you've got a bike and legs to ride it. That's enough." Didn't feel like enough in that moment, oh no, but the next morning I was out there riding anyway, wind in my face, laughter in my lungs, and somewhere along the way that heavy feeling got lighter. Not gone, just easier to carry. That's how it was with most things. You figured them out. If you argued with a friend, you didn't run home crying for someone to step in. You worked it out, or you sat with the silence until you missed each other enough to fix it. It taught you something quiet but powerful, that you could handle things even when they weren't neat or easy. And feelings, oh, we had plenty of those. Anger, jealousy, sadness, all of it. But you still had to mind your manners. Mama used to say, you can feel however you want, but you don't get to hurt folks because of it. So you'd stand there, fists clenched, saying yes, ma'am, through gritted teeth, learning control one moment at a time. It wasn't about being perfect, you see. It was about becoming steady, like a rock in a river, letting the water rush past without washing you away. And over time, without even noticing it, you grew into someone who could weather storms without needing the sky to change for you. Without needing the sky to change for you, just learning how to stand a little firmer under it. Now, let me tell you about the neighborhood. Oh, it wasn't just houses lined up neat. It was a whole world watching, listening, remembering. If you so much as frowned at Mrs. Miller down at the corner store, I promise you, your mama knew before you even stepped foot back home, and Lord help you then. Your name meant something back then. It carried weight. Folks talked, sure they did, but it wasn't always cruel. It kept you mindful. You thought twice before acting up because it wasn't just you, it was your family, your upbringing, your place in that little patch of the world. A good name could open doors. A bad one could close them just as quick. And we didn't have folks hovering over us every minute either. Oh no. If your bicycle chain slipped, you didn't holler for help right away. You turned that thing upside down, got grease all over your hands, and figured it out. Might take an hour, might take all afternoon, but when you finally rode off again, that feeling stuck with you, like you earned something no one could hand you. Sometimes we failed, of course. Sometimes things stayed broken longer than they should have. But even that taught you patience, taught you that not every problem gets solved right away, and that's all right too. We weren't coddled, but we weren't unloved either. Love just looked different, quieter, steadier. It was in the meals on the table, the roofs over our heads, the expectations set high because someone believed we could reach them. And I think, if I'm being honest with you, sweetheart, all those little lessons, all those hard edges of growing up, they shaped something deep inside us. Something you don't notice when you're young, but you lean on when life gets heavy. You lean on when life gets heavy. Like an old railing you didn't notice till you needed to steady yourself. I remember the first time life truly knocked me sideways. I was just a young woman then, thinking I understood the world well enough. Things didn't go the way I'd planned. No, not even close. Doors closed, people left, and there I was, standing in the middle of it all with no one rushing in to fix it. And you know what echoed in my mind? Not comfort, not promises that everything would be fair, but those quiet lessons. Keep going. Do your part. Mind your manners. Figure it out. They didn't sound soft, but they held me up better than anything else could have. We didn't expect life to be easy, so when it wasn't, it didn't break us the same way. It hurt, sure. Oh, it hurt plenty. But we kept moving. One step, then another. That's how most things got survived back then. Not with big speeches or perfect solutions, but with small, steady effort. And there was something else, too. Gratitude. Not the kind folks talk about now and then and forget, but the kind you lived. When you had one good meal, one kind neighbor, one warm coat, you held on to it because you knew it wasn't guaranteed. I look at things now sometimes, and I see how quickly discomfort gets chased away. A child feels bored, there's a screen. Feels sad, there's a distraction. And I wonder, not with judgment, no, just wondering, what happens when something comes along that can't be fixed so quickly? Because sooner or later, something always does. And that's when those old lessons start whispering again. Not loud, not harsh, just steady, reminding you that you got more strength than you think, that you can sit with a hard moment and not fall apart, that you can try again, even when the first try didn't work out. You see, we weren't taught to control the world. We were taught to carry ourselves through it, and that made all the difference when the road turned rough. When the road turned rough, and oh honey, it always does sooner or later. So now, sitting here with more years behind me than ahead, I don't tell these stories to say we had it all right. We didn't. Some things needed changing, and I'm glad they did. Children should be heard, hearts should be understood, and kindness should never be in short supply. But I do worry sometimes that in making life softer, we may have taken away a bit of what made people strong. You see, all those lessons, waiting your turn, doing your part without reward, facing boredom, respecting others, solving your own problems, accepting what you cannot change, they weren't punishments, they were quiet training, little pieces of armor we didn't even know we were putting on. Because one day, life asks something of you. It doesn't knock polite like either. It comes in with loss, disappointment, unfairness, and it doesn't adjust itself to make you comfortable. And in that moment, what saves you isn't convenience or constant comfort. It's character. It's the ability to say, this is hard, but I can handle hard. It's the patience to wait, the discipline to keep going, the humility to accept, and the courage to try again. So if there's anything this old grandma wants you to carry forward, it's this. Raise strong hearts, not just happy ones. Teach children that they are loved, but not the center of the world. Let them struggle a little, wait a little, figure things out. Because the world won't always be gentle, but a well-raised soul can stand steady in it. And that, my dear, that kind of strength lasts a lifetime. Oh, sweetheart, before you go, don't rush off just yet. Sit a moment longer with me. You know, every time I tell these stories, I can almost hear the echoes of those old days, the clatter of dishes, children laughing out in the street till the sun went down, mothers calling from porches. It was a different rhythm of life, slower, maybe harder in some ways, but oh, it built something strong inside people. And I can't help but wonder about you, sitting there listening to me. Did you grow up like this too? Or is all of this sounding like a story from another world? Maybe you remember being told to go outside and play with no phone, no plan, just imagination. Or maybe your childhood looked completely different. More schedules, more screens, more voices asking how you feel instead of telling you what to do. There's no judgment here, sweetheart. Every generation carries its own ways, but I'd truly love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Is it a busy city, a quiet town, somewhere far across the ocean? Tell me what life was like where you grew up. What lessons stayed with you? What do you wish had been different? And if you're raising children now, what are you holding on to and what are you letting go? Stories like these don't mean much unless we share them, pass them along like old recipes or family quilts, each person adding a little piece of their own. So don't be shy now. Leave your thoughts, your memories, your stories. I'll be right here, smiling, imagining all the different lives listening in. And if this old story touched your heart even a little, go on now, give it a like and share it with someone who might need a bit of this wisdom today.